All right, how we doing today? So I'm going to go back to my series of this is volume. Let me see, one, two, three. Actually, volume 3 of the current state of America and the four prophets. And just a reminder, okay, that we're talking about a lot of the different times that Americans are going through right now. Okay, some people are good, but I believe that a lot of Americans and people throughout the world have lost touch with the Most High. And I believe that times like COVID, it enables us to realize once again that there is a higher power, and either people see it or they don't. Okay, it gives an opportunity for people to more so put him first. Okay, other than worry about things like unemployment or PUA, and that kind of thing. Okay, people are committing suicide over that stuff. That people are harming their families, and I'm not saying that is that important, but that should not be the only thing in life or keeping the job. There's a lot of people out of work, and I've explained that during the introductory phase. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go on and get right into it. All right, so this is articles from the Bible Teaching Ministry, okay, by Pastor Chuck Swindoll, okay, and you can look at this, a lot of these articles like this on your own. Excuse me. But okay, a little bit about Ezekiel, okay. He did try to prophesize during the hostile times of Jerusalem there, okay. That he was from the priests of the same name, son to a man named Buzi, okay. That he did have, he has priestly lineage, okay, and he was appointed by God, okay, to prophesize, all right, against Israel's, a lot of their idolatry and a lot of their debauchery and wrongdoing, okay, that he was mainly concerned about the changes in the temple because they worship a lot of pagan gods like Tammuz and and Baal, all right, priesthood, things like sacrifices, because people weren't supposed to do those type of pagan sacrifices anymore. That's the reason why Leviticus was created. Okay, there's a sacrifice, it's an animal sacrifice, it's a certain animal, and they're supposed to sacrifice the fat of the animal. Real quick here, all right. His prophecy began around the 13th year, which pretty much makes it to where that he was in his teens when Israel was invaded, all right, and he did live long enough to when the Babylonians or the Israelites were sent back to Israel from Babylon, okay. He was married, okay, but his wife had passed away during his prophecy. Okay, when Israel was seized, he was hauled off, okay, to Babylon, all right, Tel Aviv, okay, along the river Shebar. So this is about around central Babylon, which is now Iraq now, okay. And when I get a minute, I probably can get a map of where that is. I spent about 3 years over there, so that's around central Iraq, right around the city of they call Diwania. Okay, the setting of which has happened around 597 BC. Okay, and actually during that time, this was Judah. Okay, the last king was Jehoshaphat, okay, and you can see that in 2 Kings 24th chapter 8 to the 14th verse, okay. All right. So Ezekiel did preach for about 22 years, okay. And let me see here. His preaching was a purpose, all right, to pretty much give a wake-up call to Israel, all right, same like the other guys like Isaiah, Daniel, all right, or Jeremiah, all right, to pretty much to share their ways of things like idolatry and put the Most High first. And they were stubborn and hard-hearted and did not do that. Okay, so therefore, all right, then it thwarted, okay, the armies of the north, which is Syria and Babylon, to come take over. Okay. What we learn out of this book is, all right, to seek out, and this is what Americans need to be doing, okay, the Lord or the Most High during the dark times, okay, and I'm hoping at times like this is everybody's able, include myself, to look at ourselves one way, okay, that we have other areas of our life to work on, especially like spiritually, all right, and again, it's other things and more other things other than money, okay, maybe making the people difference in people's lives, okay, any which way you can. How about just working maybe to get better at your craft as well, family, health, okay, these are things that the Most High would like for us to do, okay, to help give us credit as far as the promised land, going to the promised land, okay, through that narrow route. Let me do a time check here. So here's a few notes about the book of Ezekiel, okay. He did live in Jerusalem on a canal, okay, had a dream of a four-creature beast with wheels, okay, and these four creatures they talk about four different countries, all right, that's Persia, Babylon, Greece, and then the Roman world, okay, or Saturnia, that those at the time they were called the heathen, especially Greece, okay, were eventually going to conquer and besiege that land if the Israelites did not put the Most High first. I said before that he was hauled off into exile as a teenager, okay, him and Daniel as well, and two other guys, okay, and I'm going to get to Daniel in the next segment here, okay. He sees the appearance of our Lord's glory, okay, the same as in Mount Sinai, and you could see that in, I believe it was Exodus 20, I believe, okay, when he told Moses, I am who I am, okay, and the introduction of the covenant and the Ten Commandments, okay. Israel has given allegiance, pretty much sold out, okay, all right, to countries like Egypt or Assyria, okay, money for pagan worship and all that, and they pretty much fell into that stuff, into idolatry and all that, okay. And Ezekiel would try to prophesize against that, but the people, even many of the leadership, did not listen, and they were stubborn and hard-headed, okay. That he did witness a lot of the attacks and so forth, destruction of the temple, okay, which had pagan gods. I've talked about that before, okay, the pagan god of Tammuz, okay. And God was so pissed off, okay, God forbid me for saying that, irate, that he just left, okay. He left hard hearts, but then again, he left because he wanted to square Israel away and then bring back a more soft-hearted person and then appoint the king that needed to be appointed, okay. And And as I said before, the destruction was deserved. Okay, so and in the end of the day, that he is in charge of all things. That's the Most High. Okay, the Most High, that is. Okay, that the prophecy of Babylon's siege did come true. Okay, you can find that in chapter 11, and then chapter 33 about God's future. Okay, about the siege as well as that. Okay, promises a new king. Okay, under David, but the king that came about, which is the Messiah. Okay, he was nothing like King David, and because of that, many people did not accept him. Okay. Let me see here. Israelites pretty much had bad attitudes, okay, before the siege or whatever, okay. But God wanted to bring back new humans, okay, and recreations, okay, that would love and obey, all right, and people that could listen, all right, because the Israelites before the siege was so far, they were too far gone. All right, so chapter 38 and 39, okay, they talk about other nations, okay, they talk about the ruler of Gog, okay, in the Caucasus Mountains, and this is like pretty much the northeastern part of the old world, where pretty much around what is now is Afghanistan, southern Russia, okay, and maybe even like western China, okay. The people, it was a leader up there, and he was part of the lineage of Japheth, okay. They talk about other nations like Tyre, okay, Egypt, all right. Other natural disasters that destroyed that land, i.e. earthquake and fire, okay. And that's pretty much it on that. They talk about a river leading to the Dead Sea from the temple and the writing of impurities, okay? That those impurities would go down to the Dead Sea, to the bottom of that sea, okay? And the return to the temple as well. So that's pretty much it on Ezekiel. But you do need to remember that, yes, that he was appointed by the Most High to prophesize against Israel's ways and so forth, okay, and they didn't listen, and it ended up leading to a path of destruction, okay. But then again, that the Most High had loved his people so much that he wanted to bring back a more humble type person. And that being said, what you can learn out of this is humble yourself, okay. If you see yourself getting too far from the left, all right, and sometimes there's certain events in your life that may thwart you to wake up, put the Most High first. Sometimes you have to go back to a spiritual start and gain spiritual strength, okay. And if you read the book of Job, sometimes that you are taken away from things for a reason, okay. So if you keep the faith in the Most High, okay, and you worry about the things that are most important, and especially on you, okay, prayer and sacrifice, sometimes you could be rewarded, they say 15 times over, or there's a better route for you, okay, because in the end of the day, the Most High has a plan, okay, and that's what needs to happen in the state of America. Put away idolatry, money, and put the Most High first, and be blessed. All right, so much for that. Now I'm going to get ready to start the new segment on Daniel. Okay, and thanks for listening.